Hi there, students. So, in this activity, we are going to create a color wheel. And we need to start with a square area into which we can find the center and create a circle. So, what we are going to do is measure our sheet of paper. Sometimes it will be exactly 9 inches. Sometimes it will be a little bit less than 9 inches. Sometimes paper is advertised as being one size and it's actually a little bit different due to the paper shrinking or other things like that. So, my paper happens to be almost exactly 9 inches. So, I am going to measure over from the edge of my paper up here, so that I have 9 inches measured up at the top, and I'm going to measure down here. So I'm measuring this space. So I put my ruler right at 0, and then I make a little tick mark at 9, and then that gives me 2 reference points. I mean, I have this gridded board, so I could do it in a different way, but you don't all have a gridded board. So now I'm lining up my ruler with the little tick marks that I made, and I'm drawing a line. Okay, let me make sure that I can see that line in the camera. Yep. So now I know that I have a 9 by 9 inch square right here. Okay, 9 by 9. And then to find the center and divide it into 12 equal parts, which will be the equal parts of my color wheel, I'm going to line up my ruler with the corner, and I make sure that I just bring my pencil on a nice, easy journey down the ruler. And same thing here. So I've got my ruler and I'm lining up with the corners and I'm making a line. Okay? And I think those might be hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. No, that's going to be fine. And then, so now I've got this cross, and then I'm going to make sure that I have a little bit of area around my circle. And I'm going to make mine much darker than you would make yours, but I'm going to guesstimate just a little area around. And this will leave me room to write. And then I'm going to practice my circle making techniques. And it's okay if it's a little messy. This does not need to be perfect. It's really just a practice of seeing how you can get this almost circle. And I'm going to, since I tend to go a little bit quicker in these videos, you'll see that mine might be more imperfect than yours. And that's probably good because I don't want you to take 2 hours on this activity like I did, making all the samples and such. I want you to not take too much time at all. So now I've got, let's see if we can line that up. So now I've got this circle that looks a little bit like this, okay? And now I am going to guesstimate into thirds. So each quarter is going to be like a third, and I'm just guesstimating. It is totally fine if it's not absolutely perfect. Just kind of think to yourself, okay, did these 3 parts look fairly equal? Okay, so now I've got 12 equal parts, very similar to a clock. Okay, and then I'm going to make these lines. Okay, so the most important part is actually that I start in the center, and I'm going to tilt my ruler till it kind of it kind of lines up with the places, the thirds. But the most important part is that it hits the center. Okay, and this will help me kind of with the estimation of my estimation. That'll, I wasn't making sure it lined up in the center. Sometimes to make sure something lines up in the center, well, you can erase the line that is not correct. And put your finger there. Then, so to line up with the center, you can just put your pencil in the center, and then it helps you kind of line everything up. So then I've got 1/3, 2/3, and these go directly across from each other. Are they perfect? No, but that's okay. Okay, this is not about perfection. This is about color theory. So we've got this line, and again, I can line this up here. And then we have generally a circle that I can use for my color wheel. I'm going to have a diagram on the page so you can look at my labels and make sure that yours are right, but it's going to be easiest if you label things first. So with a color wheel, we've got red, and the complement of red is going to be green, but the primary colors are blue, red, and yellow. Okay, red, blue, yellow. Yellow. Okay. And then the other ones fade to, blend. Like if you blend red and yellow, you get orange. If you blend red and blue, you get violet. If you blend blue and yellow, you get green. And then in between those parts are the blends of the other ones. I'm making things very simplified and not using any terminology right now. So you blend blue and violet, you get blue violet. Okay, so that's what we want to label here. I'll label it if you want to look at the diagram and label, great. And if instead you want to follow along with me here, that is fine too. So I've got red, and I'm going to follow my diagram as well, just so I don't screw up. It makes things much easier. Red, orange, orange, yellow, orange, yellow. Make sure I'm in the right place. Yes, I am. And this will just help us stay on track. Yellow, green, green, and then blue, green, blue violet, violet, let me make sure I'm in the right place here, green, blue, green, I forgot blue, I knew I did something weird. So this video will end with the with this little part. So if you're just labeling, then feel free to just skip over this part. But I think it's valuable when students see me make a little mistake, because then you get to see how to fix that mistake. So I labeled one wrong, no big deal, just go back. There are times when we want to aim for precision, what some people might call perfection, but perfection doesn't exist. And other times where we want to follow the steps, be focused, but allow ourselves to screw up if we screw up, and just kind of correct ourselves. So this is what I've got to start with, and the next video will start in a moment.